Hello again, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to another edition of Two Sides of the Same Coin. Okay, one of the biggest problems with Spirit, if y'all remember, we had to kind of fashion in a stud with a wing nut for her air filter assembly. It's not the original. Well, the problem is that over time, uh, the stud just kept falling down into the carburetor, and I'd have to fish it out, put it back in. Finally, I just got tired of it. So decided to try my hand at soldering again and learned a few things while I was at it. Number one, the big stuff, I mean, it takes a hotter soldering iron than I have. And number two, don't do it where your new kitten is. Little Galaxy, the newest addition to our home. She liked to get. She about burned her face on the soldering iron, as you're about to see, and I mean, it scared the heck out of me. So I had no choice but to shoo her back in a hurry. And then, of course, she had to get into the shot. Right now, Princess Faye is laughing about it because she walks right in front of the camera here in just a moment. Now, here I am working on this video trying to show y'all something. My cat thinks it's funny. Yep, there she is. But anyhow, so after that, I ended up having to break out my little rotary grinder and take the heavy stuff off because it just wasn't sticking like it was supposed to. And then I got out the stuff for the finer stuff, like wire. And I found if I put it pretty heavy on it, that it actually held that wing nut in place on that stud. And I went ahead and also put a washer underneath it to kind of help even the distribution of weight out on it. And it seemed to really work out well. All total, I really didn't spend a heck of a whole lot of time on it. Um, Actually, I cut it down because, like I said, I had to learn something new. And the whole time, I'm actually making sure I fill it in so it actually looks like it belongs. Don't, one of the things, if you're just trying to fix it, I mean, it doesn't matter what it looks like. But if you're wanting to show it, well, you better take your time on it. And that's exactly what we did. I took my time on it and just made sure I filled it in and actually made it look like it was one whole piece. Now, some of you might also be saying, "Well, Prince Magnum, wouldn't it have been easier if you welded it?" Well, yeah, it would have been a lot easier if I'd have welded it and had a grinder and could have put it in a vise. And you see where this is going in such a big hurry. I don't have those things, so sometimes I have to think outside of that box again and figure out other ways to secure, to do things like this. And this is just another way if you live in an apartment complex or don't have a whole lot of tools. This is a cheaper way to do exactly what it is that I had to do. Now, of course, like I said, this is a cheap, simple fix. I have the washer. I dug it right out of my toolbox because I keep extra stuff like that around. You never know when you're going to need it. And it just worked out. I mean, despite the hiccups in the day, because in the midst of all of this, poor Princess Faye, she went out to start up Vera. Her battery was dead. Didn't know it, but her belts had loosened up. So had to go out there and work on that. Had to tighten her belts up, which one of them is still not quite right. It's just stretching. It's just aged. One of them things. And then I go out and the next clip, I'm out there painting the new part, part, and I get the call on the radio that the car doesn't have enough gas to start properly, and and the battery was dead again. So I had to stop what I was doing and load up in the car, and Spirit and I to the rescue again. It's okay. It's just one of them things. So guys, that's just one of them things. Some days you'll be working on your project and you got to go save your wife, but that's okay. That's what a good husband does. Kind of preluding to something that'll be coming up on an episode of Surviving Romance. But anyhow, so basically, take your time on a project like this, especially if you're going to be showing it. We're getting ready for the 4th of July celebration. in Pilot Knob at Fort Davidson, and here in just as soon as I finish this video, I'll be giving them a call, letting them know that I'll be able to attend because we were invited, being the Prince Magnum channel and all, and that is my old hometown, and I want to be able to tell them gladly that I'll be able to come down, and hopefully Princess Faye as well, which it looks like it will be that way. But the both of us will be able to come down and show our love for a town that got me started in the right direction in education in so many different ways. A lot of history down there. So, not only am I doing this, because, I want Spirit to look good, but because also I don't think it would be very right for me to show up, doing a half hiney job, if you will, to my old hometown. I don't think that's very respectful of me. I want to continue to show my love for a town that's done so much for me. But anyhow, we're getting ready for that next clip. I just wanted you to see how long it actually can take when you do it right the first time. And basically set up the camera, and I'm like, all right, time to paint. Boom. It didn't even take that long. It was a small part, It doesn't take long for these small parts. And amazingly enough, I did not get any overspray on the lens. Yay me, I'm getting better with this stuff. Practice makes perfect, right? And thankfully, the heat was great enough, and even despite having to go save Princess Faye and everything, everything turned out wonderfully, and that's what it looks like. And I'm really happy with that piece. It blends in with the theme of the engine, anyways, and I couldn't be happier. We'll have to do a little touch up on her air cleaner lid before we go, because that part falling down into the carburetor evidently was blowing a lot of stuff back up on there. Is just ruining that spot. So I've got to touch that up. But other than that, it turned out wonderfully. All right, brings us to the end of this. Like if you would, subscribe if you would. Get out there and work on a project, and above all, if nobody has told you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you, and have a happy 24. Thank you.